Greetings, YouTube. This is the Garage Autonomist. If you are tuning into this live stream right now, this will be my third attempt at what was supposed to be, if anything, an addendum of reading material regarding who were the Trump voters. Now, the first attempt was trashed because my daughter texted me and asked me if she could participate in the student walkout earlier today. But I needed to call her school to give permission because the school she attends encourages stuff like that. And I had to call them to tell them, that I give permission. The second time, the second time that I was almost done with the second stream, I had gotten another personal phone call, and it just messed up everything. So I just decided to delete both of those earlier streams, and then I moved on with the rest of my day. Now I am sitting here in a coffee shop before it's time for me to pick up my daughter, and I'm going to go ahead and proceed to get on with what I need to say here. Now, this stream is supposed to be a quick one, and the purpose, was to add on to what I think is an important piece that I only touched on slightly in the last Autonomous Lounge and on Thursday's Food for Thought. Because while we were getting general demographics from the exit polls last week, we are also missing historical, political, and economic context as to who gave Trump the Oval Office. While it is an amusing idea that internet trolls, Pepe the Frog, and fucking basement dwellers from the Manosphere put him there, the reality is that these motherfuckers are just slackers and low-functioning functionaries. They couldn't organize a one-man circle jerk, let alone a campaign of hashtagivism turned grassroots organizing to get people to vote for Trump. My attempt at this point is to emphasize that Trump's victory was due to the Rust Belt having been ravaged by NAFTA. Then, of course, the lying Clintons, and I'm talking about the husband and the wife since the goddamn 90s to the present, the downsizing of industries from the 80s, and just plain voting out of fear. That's what put him over the top and into the White House. Not the sheer power of Mountain Dew and rape apologists who happen to be Sargon of Akkad fans. They helped ring out Trump's name on the internet for sure, but it was real life people who put him there with real life fears and real life problems, and the rightward shift of this country, i.e. Democrats shitting on the working class, for example, have also helped. The three links in the low bar that I left, the New York Times article titled, "Can Trump Save Their Jobs? They're Counting on It," and the second one from the Atlantic, "One Reason the Rust Belt Turned Red," which really goes more into the union busting bills that were signed, the bills that actually took down the unions. And you'll read the article, but that's what also, if anything, is what were also major factors in helping. But these two links, I believe, are if anything, really explain more than anything else the Trump win. Sorry about that. And it gives us a profile of the people of the Rust Belt. Now, some of them are not as delusional as some of us actually hoped that they were, just to explain it. I myself even felt that way, but actually they're not as delusional about Trump as you will read from the New York Times article, at least the people that they interviewed. But they voted him, but again, they still fell for what I believe to be the major myth about Trump anyway, that he's supposedly this outsider who challenged the Washington insiders of both the Republican and the Democratic parties. And I believe that they basically put him in there because they saw him as a lesser evil, and and they voted, and who basically, uh, you know, might be a better promise than Obama's broken promises of change, which they did not get. But really, who is Trump? Trump is not a worker. Trump has never worked a day in his fucking life, at least in terms of labor, at least in terms of being the type of work that the majority of Americans are right now. If they're not in service industry, they're in labor. If they're not in labor industry, then they're low-paying telecommunication jobs and things of this nature, retail. But he has never worked those kinds of jobs in his life. So therefore, he is not a fucking outsider. How the hell do you even see him as such? Is other than the fact that he just talks a lot of shit, and he's not acting like a polished politician. But I can tell you one thing over this past week and this weekend is that he sure is damn quickly acting like a Washington insider. He's already going back and sliding back on some of the things that he said he was gonna do, and now to quell the violence or whatever coming from his supporters, as we began to see since Trump day one, harassment of Muslims, harassment of women, a gay man was beaten. Now he's coming out and telling people to stop. First of all, like he really gives a fuck, but whatever. Why then, you're probably wondering, is he running for office? What would be the point? If he's not all of these things that I just mentioned. The best way that I would because none of that is evidenced right now, and I'm certainly not going to pretend like I know 100%. I will say this, that if anything, the best way I would describe Trump's reasoning for running is like this. Politicians, of either ruling class parties are the food servers, and the diners are the ruling class. Trump is a diner, but decides that his food is taking too long to get to the goddamn table. So he gets up from the table and he decides to go to the kitchen and basically gets his own food himself. While this looks like he's rejecting hegemony and hierarchy, what he's really doing is that he's just getting his dinner before the other diners. He is basically self-serving. So his own agenda, I'm sure, will have to do with lining his pockets in some way. And that is not evidenced yet. And it may not be until like 5 years from now, or damn near until 2020, until after 2020. So you might see a member of the bourgeoisie do this from time to time, run for office. Steve Forbes ran for office, though he was very unsuccessful. The issue, however, is that while Trump is not a Washington outsider and he acted like one throughout the campaign, it does not mean that he's one of the common people and that he just got up and decided to run for president. He is a member of the ruling class, a class that Washington insiders actually serve. So I can guarantee you that the only Manosphere-Troll who's been in power politically is Trump. He will not create jobs, nor will he protect the ones still leaving the Rust Belt, as Carrier is doing. They're planning on moving their plants to Mexico. They are the makers of air conditioners and furnaces. That's the company that was written about in the New York Times article that I posted in a low bar. I'm also going to add the Jacobin magazine article that actually goes more into into Clinton, really, Hillary Clinton, their relationship with Haiti, their union busting, because she too, the union busting that she's been involved in, mainly teachers in her home state. I mean, so the thing is that I'm not talking up Trump in order to, or talking against Trump, in other words, in order to say, well, we should have voted for Hillary. You know what my answer to that is. No, we should not have. Workers are just as much screwed, like these two young women here in this picture would have been just as much screwed under her as Trump. And that's the thing. He played enough of a role to make him more interesting than Hillary. But these people were done with Hillary already, even before she ran, because they're just done with the Democratic Party. So now they're only trying the new flavor, if you will, and that would be Trump. So now at this point, it's just a matter of sitting back and being proved right, as a lot of us will be proven about him. And like I said, it's just going to be some time. I pretty much don't have anything else to say. I'm going to be going, as you all know, I'm going to be appearing on Obsidian Network. I already have a couple of supporters of this channel who are like, why are you doing this? I never, ever, ever thought that, I never, ever felt that it was a bad idea to debate ideological opponents here and there. I have my reasons, and my reasons is only one. It's very simple. It's just that I believe that Obsidian's audience, first of all, it's very huge. I know who he is. I've seen him around before. I've just never bothered to look at his videos. And in all honesty, what I did do was that the day after Trump was elected, he posted a video, his post video of his post video victory, whatever, like all the rest of the reactionaries of YouTube have done. And I just left a trolling comment in his section. I do this from time to time. And he could have just told me to fuck off. He could have just deleted the comment. Instead, he reached out and said, hey, come on my show and debate with me. And I mean, I was like, okay, he's got a huge audience. I'm pretty sure that while I would never change his mind in a debate, which is, like I said, one of the main reasons why I would never debate with anyone who I'm an ideological opponent of, I know that his audience is big enough to where there might be somebody who could be won over by our ideas. And I am in the interest of basically dispelling a lot of the stuff and lies and myths that his side often says every day, every time they make a video. So I'm going to, of course, be bringing facts, statistics, and history in the face of what they typically like to say, things that they say about women in general, leftists in general, everything. Especially Black Lives Matter. I think he needs to be challenged on a couple of things. So this is going to be good. I think I'll see this as a positive thing. I'm not really worried about it at all. Besides, the thing is, you can't be out there trying to build actions and movements as I've done in my past and not get your chops from debating with people and having political discussions, because that's what people do. If you don't do this, you become weak. I think it's a lot of reasons why people who've been politicized on the college campus, why they're missing in the streets, so to speak, why they're missing in the community, and why they're not really part of movement building and community organizing, because they just don't deal with people. So anyway, that's all I have to say. Hope everybody else is enjoying their day, and I will see you all later. Peace. This is the Garage Autonomist.